The Eastern there with a track called Be True here on Kiwi. It's 9:38 now.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Kiwi.
And joining me now to share a few tunes with us and talk about a gig on the way very, very soon in Auckland City. It is Mr. Luke from Antiform. I was going to say Josh because I was expecting Josh to come in.
How you going?
But Josh was waylaid. Very good, very good. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. I haven't met the Antiform boys before. So really good to find out about you guys. How long have you guys been around for?
We've sort of been doing stuff for about roughly 6 or 7 years around there. Probably getting serious about things about 5 years ago, really. So the first 2 years we're sort of just learning the ropes, really, yeah.
It seems to me that Antiform kind of grew up in the same ilk as like Concord Dawn.
Yeah.
That sort of time.
Around that sort
frame.
of period we sort of all started. We know Evan and Matt quite well, they're good friends, and sort of I went to tech with Evan. So it's sort of around the sort of same time period, really.
Is Antiform a duo?
No, there's actually 5 of us now. There was 3 up until about a year ago or so. And we've sort of taken on a lead vocalist now and a lead guitarist.
Oh, cool.
To make the band sort of more live band sort of orientated,
So what sort of format was it when you started?
There was basically 3 of us, me, Josh and Brendan. We were mainly keyboard based and, sort of more heading towards the electronic dance music side of things. And now we're sort of adding live elements like guitars and obviously vocals live and that to sort of make it more like a band, really.
So originally you were that sort of setup where you've got a bunch of paraphernalia, keyboards and stuff, kind of like the Pitch Black sort of
That's
thing,
the one,
or how Concord Dawn was as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much what we were doing. We sort of to sort of evolve our sound a bit more, I guess we sort of added guitars in some of our tracks, and we thought, oh hey, we might as well just do this live, and took on a vocalist as well, Cameron, MC Twin Cam, I think he goes by. You might know him around. He's done a lot of gigs with Concord Dawn and Upbeats and those sort of guys. So
was it always the drum and bass tip?
It was actually started out with a bit more breakbeat sort of orientated stuff a little bit earlier on, but we're sort of heading more towards sort of the drum and bass sound. We're not trying to sort of go into any one genre, really. So our newer our album that came out May last year sort of has a mix of different sort of aspects of every genre, really.
I remember you guys were I think I first encountered you guys on the Breaks mix CD that Timmy Schumacher brought out.
Oh yeah, the Kings on Electro CD, I think that was that was back in the day. Yeah, definitely.
And it was definitely more on the
Return of the Boomschwack.
Return of the Boomschwack, but there was the Kingsland one as well.
Yeah, both of those same sort of time period. Yeah.
But that was more of your breaks rather than drum and bass.
That was sort of when we were doing that a while back. Yeah.
What happened to the break scene?
I don't know. I think a lot of the sort of electro house sort of stuff took over a little bit more, and now it's sort of moving more towards the dubstep sort of tip, I think.
Is it because it was a genre of music that couldn't go anywhere else? They've basically done it.
I think. Well, it's kind of all aspects of every genre is put into breakbeat, which is that's kind of why we liked it, is because it had bits of everything really in it. I think just music in general just evolves anyway, so I think that's sort of what's happened, is it's just evolved into something else. You can still find elements of like in sort of the newer style dubstep stuff, you can kind of find elements of breakbeat or drum and bass in that, and it's just basically music that's evolved into something now. So
well, now with extra members in the band, how does a song evolve? Does it start with beats created and then some vocals over the top, or is someone come in with a song?
It all depends on who sort of starts it, really, because we all work in different ways when we make a tune, really. I tend to start with percussion first and do a bit of that, and then come up with an idea for a melody or something. Yeah. And normally vocals will get added later. Whereas if Cam, came up with an idea, he would obviously, because he's a vocalist, would start with a vocal idea first, and then would build a tune around it. So I guess it all depends on who comes up with the idea to start the tune. Yeah.
Is there a need now that you must have a band, because that's kind of what the punters sort of expect now? They expect a bigger show.
Yeah, I think people are a lot more educated now with what they know, what they know what they like, really, and I think to make I mean, I'm you know, it's still great seeing a good DJ play and that, but I guess because we prefer to make our own music, we, you know, sort of thought that it'd be really good to be able to play this live, so sort of add as much stuff as possible was sort of what we decided to do, and people seem to like it, you know, that shows a really good show, and when it's sort of on a big stage in front of thousands of people, it actually, you know, they really enjoy it, you know. Lots of crowds and that sort of thing.
I mean, who do you think typifies an Antiform sort of punter these days?
I don't know. Age bracket is kind of, I guess, it's everyone really, but I mean, you know, even my mum listens to it.
Yeah, cool.
But, you know,
yeah.
But yeah, older people, younger people, but I'd say on average the age bracket would be between 18 and sort of 28, around there. You know, the majority of people. So
because I went along to the big old AC/DC gig.
Oh, right.
I was thinking, well, you know, there is a crossover between metal or hard rock or whatever, and drum and bass, or you know, these kind of dance sounds.
Yeah, there is. I mean, like people like Pendulum have really taken it that step. Like they're quite rock orientated people, and they've moved from drum and bass into sort of rock style drum and bass now. And it, I mean, you can kind of, the only thing that's different from their tunes from being a rock tune is the fact it's got programmed electronic drums, as opposed to, I mean, they do live drumming, but they're kind of, you know, electronic sounding drums.
So I saw them play at the big day. I mean, it's a stadium filler, isn't it?
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, they're really good. That sort of sound, I think people are, even, you know, people that have just been into rock constantly can get into it, you know?
Yeah.
It's quite accessible.
Yeah. So you guys are playing, you've got a bit of a gig coming up on the 16th of April at Foo and at Zenith, spread across a couple of venues.
It's because that's a double venue. Got two big rooms.
Yep.
It's kind of one of our favourite places to play. We really enjoy it. We've done quite a few gigs there. This one's coming up on the 16th of April on this Friday.
With a bunch of cats along there as well, like Nick D, Agent Alvin, Timmy Schumacher, MC Kyler, Defcon 1, Random Play, the Colonel MC, Jason George, Apex, and Joe Revell as well. A lot of these you'd be able to hear on Kiwi FM throughout the day. Very, very cool. And you've got a new video that you're going to be making soon.
We're currently working we just got funding for it. What is it? It's Bury Me. It's a track that was out on our album, and it's kind of more of a rock orientated track, sort of with breakbeat drums, I guess. We're sort of working towards the storyline, or you know, the idea of the video at the moment. It'll probably be starting to get produced next month.
Where do you think it's going to head creatively?
We've got a couple of ideas. We kind of have an idea of us sort of being in a TV world, and there's because the vocalist that did the vocals for it is actually living in Canada at the moment. They're from the States originally.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to fly him over to do the video, so
bring him in on Skype.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. Is doing a bit of a TV world type thing.
Cool.
It'll be a lot easier to get the vocalist in there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that. You know, you don't
definitely
have to be in the same place.
Yeah, well, I mean, he can take footage of himself singing the tune and send it over via the internet these days.Enough. So yeah, it's really good. Where
do you think your music fits in these days? Because you know, with a lack of, I mean, there is a new music channel starting. I think that rumor is pretty much out there.
Oh, yeah.
But generally, it's hard to get videos seen on TV. Most people encounter them on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that the vehicle these days? I mean, you make a video and go, well, let's try and get this out there and get people sharing it.
Yeah, I think when you do a music video, it is really important to have it out on the net as well. Kind of released the same time that the video is released.
Yeah.
Like do an official release of it as well on the net, because majority of the time people are at a party or something like this and go, hey, check this video out, and then they'll just load up YouTube or whatever and show people or whatever, and that's how you get people to really hear it these days.
Because I was thinking about the other day that you know, like a TV would traditionally play a music video because of the track, not necessarily because of the video itself.
Yeah,
they'll just play it because the track was in the top 40 or whatever, and then you know they're going to conform to a certain sort of format. But I think on the net, the video has to be quite creative in order for people to want to share it and go, hey, check out this amazing video.
Definitely,
yeah. So the emphasis is slightly different, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Which can get expensive when you're making a video, obviously.
yeah.
They're not cheap, but you know, we know a few people now and a few creative minds that can come up with something for relatively a good price.
Cool.
And I mean, there's a lot of really, really good cheap videos out there.
Yeah, there are.
Even on TV
It's
now.
all about concept, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's about a good idea, and you don't need to spend the world to try and make a really good video.
Well, I'm well looking forward to it, the video coming out. So let's hear the track, and don't forget you can catch Antiform the 16th of April at Foo and Zen in Auckland City. And here is the track, Bury Me. Thanks very much, Luke from Antiform.
Thank you for having me.